never stop reading the Bible. Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're jumping into the later chapters of Esther, specifically chapters 6 through 10.
Right, picking up right where things get incredibly tense. We've got King Ahasuerus, Esther, Mordecai, and this looming threat against the Jewish people.
And it all hinges on, well, the king having a bad night's sleep.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chapter 6 kicks off with the king wide awake asking for the royal records. Just something to pass the time.
Yeah, and what does he stumble upon? The story of how Mordecai saved his life from that assassination plot.
And the kicker is he realizes Mordecai got absolutely zero recognition for it. Nothing.
Must have really stuck with him. And then, perfect timing, Haman shows up.
Haman, the architect of the whole terrible plot against Mordecai and his people.
So the king, probably still thinking about Mordecai, asks Haman, hey, what should I do for someone I really want to honor?
Oh, the dramatic irony here is just brilliant. Haman, bless his arrogant heart, assumes it's him the king wants to honor.
Of course he does. And he suggests this incredibly over-the-top ceremony. Royal robes, the king's own horse.
A top official leading him through the city square, shouting about how much the king digs him. He goes all out.
He really lays it on thick. You can almost see him puffing up with pride.
And then the king just drops the bomb. Great idea. Now go do all of that for Mordecai the Jew.
Oof. Can you imagine the look on Haman's face? Utter humiliation. That's really the start of his downfall.
Absolutely. Which leads us straight into Chapter 7, Esther's second banquet. The tension must have been, well, sky high.
Definitely. The king asks her again, okay, Esther, what is it you really want? What's your petition?
And this time she lays it all out. She reveals Haman's plot. This wicked Haman wants to annihilate me and my people.
The king is understandably furious. He demands to know who would dare do such a thing.
And Esther points straight at Haman. You can just picture it. Haman's whole world collapses in that moment.
Starts desperately pleading with Esther for his life. But the king walks back in and sees Haman falling on Esther's couch.
And completely misinterprets it. Thinks Haman is assaulting the queen right there.
That seals it. No more chances for Haman. He's taken out and hanged on the very gallows he built for Mordecai.
Talk about poetic justice. It's swift and incredibly fitting.
So chapter 8 deals with the immediate aftermath. The king gives Haman's entire estate to Esther.
Right, and Mordecai gets promoted. He basically steps into Haman's old position, gets the signet ring.
But there's still a huge problem, isn't there? Haman's original decree ordering the destruction of the Jews, it's still legally in effect.
Exactly. Under Persian law, the king couldn't just undo his own edict once it was sealed. It was irrevocable.
So Esther has to go back to the king again. It must have taken immense courage. She pleads with him to find a way to stop the massacre.
And the king, clearly favoring Esther and Mordecai now, finds a clever solution. He can't revoke the first decree, but he can issue a new one.
A new decree allowing the Jewish people throughout the empire to arm themselves and defend themselves against anyone who might attack them on that specific day.
And Mordecai, now in this powerful position, sends out this new decree everywhere. Imagine the relief, the shift from despair to, well, hope and joy.
Which brings us to chapter 9, the day the attack was supposed to happen.
But instead of being victims, the tables are turned. The Jews defend themselves and overpower their enemies across the empire.
In Susa, the capital, the fighting is particularly intense. They defeat 500 attackers on the first day.
Including Haman's 10 sons. The king tells Esther, and she actually asks for another day for the Jews in Susa to finish the job, and for Haman's sons to be publicly displayed.
A bit grim, perhaps, but it solidified the victory. Another 300 enemies fall in Susa the next day.
And out of this intense conflict and deliverance comes the establishment of a new festival, Purim.
Right, a time set aside every year to remember how close they came to annihilation and how they were saved. Feasting, joy, sending gifts.
It commemorates that incredible reversal of fortune. It's a central part of the story's legacy.
Finally, chapter 10 is quite brief. It sort of wraps things up by reminding us of King Ahasuerus' power and the extent of his rule.
Yeah, it mentions the official chronicles, the history books, recording his deeds, and importantly, the high status and influence of Mordecai.
Mordecai remains second in command, highly respected, working for the good of his people.
It just shows how, through all these twists and turns, providence, courage, maybe a sleepless night, led to this incredible outcome. A story of survival against the odds.
Is this Center Studio?